SpotlightMediaStudios.com. Welcome to Education Unfiltered. Here is Mary Stucco.
Hello, this is Mary Stucco with Education Unfiltered, and we talk all things higher ed. And a lot of times higher ed starts in high school. So we have a lot of students who are actively involved in programs that will transfer into college credits and they move on to the next stop. Today, we have with us Monique Colizzi. She's the instructor at Wilson Talent Center, which is part of the Ingham Intermediate School District, and Mike Maurer, who's the director of Accident Fund Insurance Company at the Lansing headquarters. He's also the chairperson for Insuring MI Future, a nonprofit advocating for careers in the insurance industry. Welcome, Monique and Mike.
Thank you, Mary, so much for having us on the show today.
You are so welcome.
Good morning.
And today we're going to talk about insurance. You have a wonderful program at Wilson Talent Center, Monique, and you've been the instructor. Can you tell us a little bit about, your journey into this and, what you do at Wilson Talent Center and how long you've been doing it?
Sure. I'll talk a little bit about Wilson Talent Center first. As you mentioned, it's part of Ingham Intermediate School District. We service 12 districts in our service area of Ingham County, but we also serve several other areas as well. We have a total of 19 career and technical education programs at Wilson Talent Center. My specific program has been in operation for 6 years, and our industry partner, as you mentioned, is Accident Fund, and our collegiate partner is Ferris State University. When the program began, Mary, 6 years ago, we had 6 students enrolled, and this year, even in the midst of all the challenges, we had an enrollment of 50 students. So they spend a half a day with me in the morning and then again in the afternoon with another group. But clearly we focus on the areas of risk management, insurance, as well as entrepreneurship and business studies. If students stay with me for just a year, Mary, they're able to earn 9 credits from Ferris State University.
Nice.
If they end up coming back for the second year, they are able to earn between 15 to 21 collectively, between first and second year, 15 to 21 credits. And then we have an early college program that allows for that opportunity of 55 college credits through Ferris State.
That's fantastic. That's an amazing thing that you're doing there.
Thank you. I enjoy it, and I want to briefly touch upon some of the student success stories that have really come to light this school year, which I'm super proud. So I'll talk a little bit about that. 5 of my students recently have landed a job at a Lansing-based insurance agency or are in the process of doing so, just with the exposure that the program is getting, the support from Accident Fund and other companies and agencies in Lansing. They're starting to recognize the value of my students, and they're starting to get jobs as high school seniors. I also started this year with the help of my advisory committee and Mike Maurer and Brad Bush from Michigan Millers, an insurance BFF program, and that allows my 19 second-year students to partner with somebody either on the agency side or the company side. Of course, we're not able to leave campus this year, and that's kind of a pillar of the program, is for students to experience the real world. So to bridge that gap, we've started the Insurance BFF program. My kids have been matched with somebody in industry. They meet twice a month online, and they have an agenda set up. They set up the mentor meetings, and really just a person to connect with, to bridge the gap, advice, inspiration, motivation, of course, during their senior year. But we've got individuals from Michigan Millers, from Accident Fund, General Agency, Tri-County Agency, the Rathbun Agency, Holton Diamondale Agency, as well as Doan Agency, helping my kids out. So I think they're really building a solid resume this year. Even though we haven't been able to get off campus, they have attended some virtual events hosted by Davenport, Delta Dental, Charlotte Fire Department. My kids have also presented at board meetings for Ingham ISD. National Alliance invited us to a couple of board meetings last week, and they've been part of podcasts. And so it's kind of interesting to see the transition of the involvement is almost stronger this year with my students being involved in some leadership opportunities through a virtual platform. They've been on WILX and just recently Fox 47's Morning Blend. So again, just some really great opportunities with that.
There's definitely been some positives that have come out of how we do business, the changes of how we've had to do business, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Mike,
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about, and Monique's already going that direction. We're talking a lot about connecting the classrooms to the industry. And I think that's so important in all areas. But, it's really important in insurance because there's so many different types of positions available, so many companies just in the Lansing area for students to choose from. So can you talk a little bit, because you're really a big innovator in connecting all of these students to these different things that are available to them. Can you talk a little bit about some of these programs and things that you're involved with?
Sure. And then really, I'll maybe give a little bit of a history on it too. Really, when we started this program 6 years ago, I viewed it as more of a talent crisis as far as the industry and bringing new people, new professionals into the industry and everything else. I think in the last 6 years, we've made some progress. It may not be in the crisis status anymore, but there still definitely exists a talent gap. And I think within the Lansing area, if people aren't aware of it, the insurance industry is significant. We have a number of insurance companies that have their headquarters right here in the greater Lansing area, whether it's auto owners or accident fund, Farm Bureau, Delta Dental, Jackson, very large operations. And each of them have opportunities for these students to, maybe start out as an intern with the opportunity to get full-time employment after graduation. In addition to the larger companies, Monique's already mentioned a couple of the, what I would call the small business owners. And there's hundreds of them in the Lansing area that are not only selling insurance, but also providing service to those who need the protection. I tend to refer to them as those are the ones you see on the billboards. If you see a face on a billboard, that's more than likely one of those small business owners that's providing the insurance in partnership with the insurance companies. But we still need to continue to recruit students. Again, there is a gap, but we're trying to close that gap. But, I think it's just important to support these programs and encourage the students. As you mentioned, there's many challenging careers. I've been in the industry for over 30 years. It's rewarding as well. As far as what we do as an industry, it's not just sales. There's so many other opportunities involved in traditional programs or careers, but also what you can do with a math degree or a finance degree or human resources. Many different opportunities.
Very good. And then there's a lot of other supporting associations that the students can get involved with, such as Gamma Iota Sigma and Insuring MI Future is helping a lot of students in different ways. Can you go into some more details on those?
Sure. The Gamma program, not so much at the high school level, but we make them aware of what the Gamma Iota Sigma is. It's a national organization, so they're trying to help the students that are pursuing careers in insurance and risk management and develop their opportunities. So I know that there at Lansing Community College, there's a Gamma chapter there, and a lot of the different colleges and universities within Michigan and nationwide that have these insurance and risk management programs also are part of Gamma. So, really, trying to develop their skills. Each of the Gamma chapters have a board of directors, so there's a leadership opportunity. But I think it's even more important that they help them build their soft skills with mock interviews and dinner etiquette and just some different opportunities that way. And as well as applying for scholarships. Again, the industry is very large, not only in the Lansing area, but in other states. And a number of times you'll find associations that have scholarships available, and some of them go unclaimed because there just aren't enough applicants for it and everything else. So that's really why I'm very much involved with Insuring MI Future. Again, we don't provide any scholarships, but we're trying to promote these careers that are available to the industry. Again, the variety of careers, and at the same time, make sure that they're aware of where the sources of these scholarships are at. I'm aware of students that have gone to a private school for 4 years and graduated debt-free. And I think that's an important message to share is, with a little bit of effort, these students can get some scholarships and help pay for their college education.
That's fantastic. So many opportunities going into this industry. Monique, can you explain or describe to us how would you describe the students that are entering into your program? Obviously, you have a significant amount of students now. What are they like? What are your students like?
So clearly, when they come in for visits, Mary, during their 8th grade year and their 10th grade year, and I let my students do the pitching. Let them do the marketing. I think they best are able to articulate what happens in the class. They say, Miss Colizzi, you can't talk to them. You'll tell them about all the scholarship stuff and the credits and all that. They don't care about that. We want to tell them about all the fun we have in here. Right. So I really give kudos to my students because they're the ones who draw the crowd in. And juniors and seniors in high school, for them to make a decision to go into a class that's called Business and Risk Management is really a person, I think, who is intrigued with a topic they know nothing about. Most students don't have the exposure to insurance. A lot of them have family members who are in business or maybe in insurance somewhere, but they're very just the population is awesome. They come from a variety of backgrounds, a variety of school districts, but when they all come together and we start learning together and doing projects together, they almost seem like they are from the same district. They are one big happy family. That's kind of how the class turns in because we do a lot of, networking and projects and experiential things that really draw them together. So they do come from a diverse background, but they all have an intriguing interest in what is this insurance all about? They hear from the pitches that, there's, like Mike said, a talent gap, and there is a place for them in industry. No matter what occupation or what skill set they have, there is a place for them in industry. So they're a great group, and when they come back for a second year, that's truly an indication that they enjoyed what they did the first year, and word of mouth helps the program grow. But truly, my kids pitching this to 8th and 10th graders when they're starting to make decisions on what it is they want to do. To kind of pigtail off of a couple of things that Mike had mentioned, and in filling this gap, I mentioned that I think this year my students have really come to life with really having a purpose and a sense of what their future is going to look like. We started the CISR high school designation program through National Alliance. All 19 of my second-year kids have passed their personal auto exam. This week they are taking their personal residential exam. They know after the 5th class of being successful, they will have a designation. I think that opens up a lot of avenues for them. It has allowed them to build a whole level of confidence they didn't have before, that we're not leaving this high school program with our college credit and then going back into, whatever part-time job they had before. They see it as a viable option, a connection. This is something that's really motivating them this year, that they're able to work toward that. Of course, they also work toward their property casualty licensing exam. I've had, I think, 6 students pass at Wilson Talent Center, pass the state licensing exam, and one student at the age of 17 passed his CAWC designation. He was able to take that at Accident Fund, and then another student at 19 passed the life and health exam. So they're really taking advantage of these opportunities, and of course we have great support from MAIA, great support from Insuring MI Future, and then none of this could happen without the support of Ingham ISD. They're very they see this program as one of the pillars of Wilson Talent Center, so that the support from everybody makes this happen.
Yeah, it's definitely a group effort, that's for sure.
Yes.
What schools are your students coming from?
Well, it varies from year to year, Mary, but I've got a pretty high population of Holt students, Waverly students, Mason students. Dansville seems to be a growing population this year, but usually I pull from about 6 or 7 districts. Hazlitt is on board again this year, but it varies. But I would say that Holt, Waverly, and Mason are probably my top enrolled students this year.
That's fantastic. Just getting a very diverse group of students.
Yes.
If a student is listening to this or a parent, how do they go about reaching out to you to get more information and getting their child enrolled in this?
Well, definitely they are able to call Wilson Talent Center, and we have some very dedicated professionals who would be happy to answer questions. They can also visit the Wilson Talent Center website. We have a Facebook page, and then, of course, Ingham ISD would offer the same information.
Wonderful. Well, you guys are doing a lot of great things out there. I want to thank you, Monique Colizzi from Wilson Talent Center, and Mike Maurer, Director of Accident Fund Insurance Company at the Lansing headquarters. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Mary Stucco with Education Unfiltered. I want to thank our sponsors today, which is Accident Fund Group and Davenport University.